Hi friends, today I put together what I think are 5 useful combat tips. Whether you're starting StellarBlade for the first time on April 26th, or if you've played through the demo multiple times like me, I think you'll get something interesting out of this. If you're new here, welcome and stay tuned as I have a lot planned for the full game from collectible walkthroughs to speedrun tutorials. Let's get started. The first tip is going to be taking advantage of the free dash, which is called Rush, that you get after a perfect dodge. You do this by tapping, not holding, triangle after a perfect dodge. It brings you right back to their face to stay in the action, and it's a great tool to close a big distance after dodging a projectile, if your normal rush is still on cooldown. But be wary, since you are committing to a rush, you can get hit on the way back, as shown here. If you have it upgraded, you can also do the triangle plus circle follow-up after this free rush. I think this free rush is really useful, as sometimes you might find your normal rush is still on cooldown, or maybe you want to save it to exit a situation. This is just one advantage to perfect dodging over perfect parrying, which leads us to tip number 2. When should you try to perfect parry versus perfect dodge? Dodging gives you access to the reflection abilities, while parrying gives you access to the counter abilities, but they are both great. And I think it's important to incorporate a mix of both if you want to get the most out of the combat. While parrying builds beta energy, dodging builds something we don't have access to in the demo, burst energy. In general, if an enemy does 2 quick attacks, it is safe to assume that if you dodge the first one, it'll dodge the follow-up thanks to the perfect dodge's invincibility frames. Whereas if you perfect parry, you will always need to parry each individual attack. Here is some footage fighting against Stalker in the boss challenge, dodging at kind of weird times in their attack pattern, so you can see kind of when you have to go back to parrying or dodging. Here, for example, that dodge covered that last hit. And then here is a little bit of footage against Abaddon, showing how they do these 2 quick swipes, and just one perfect dodge on the first swipe is safe for both. On the other hand, beta energy is super useful to replenish, and so it is worth practicing parrying. Like I mentioned earlier, you do have to parry each individual attack, and in this clip you're going to see the 2 creepers, their attacks sync up, but since it's 2 at the same time, I parry one and take damage. Tip number 3 is a super fast one. If you hold down R2, it is not as fast as mashing R2. In this quick clip against Stalker, I'm going to show how you can melt their shield with the slug ammo. I did put the shield destruction gear on just for added, wow effect, but it's still super fast and totally worth mashing R2 if you can. And as a mini tip, always remember to shoot the weak point after doing a repulse. Tip number 4 is for anyone feeling overwhelmed by the various attack strings. I recommend focusing on 2 at a time. A good one to pick early that I'm showing here is Incursion 4, which is square, 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 triangle, triangle. Why do I think it's good? Well, the first 3 hits are light, so they're very safe since it's quick and easy to cancel out of them with a guard or dodge. The last 2 hits have incredible evasive properties since you go airborne, so you'll get these random accidental awesome moments jumping over enemy attacks. And by using the string more often, you'll just get more of these cool moments. Here you can see against 2 enemies, I take out 2 guys jumping over one attack and finishing them off. The last tip is going to be on the beta skills. It might seem simple, but really take a couple minutes to go through the different skills and read their descriptions. They each have their own utility. In short, triangle is great for crowd control, circle is your ranged attack, X is for obliterating shields on bosses, and square is your general skill I like to use on singular, normal enemies. For a very in-depth look at the entire skill tree, including the beta skills, I have an exhaustive 3-hour-long stream discussing it all. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. If you've got other tips to suggest, please mention them in the comments, or join our Safe for Work Discord server that I created, and you can chat about it there. The link is down below. Take care, everyone, and happy April 26th. We finally made it.